by itself. It went by itself. I don't understand how it did.
How come it only happens to you?
I didn't turn it on. I was on mute. Change your phone. I'm just good. Rabbi, you're good. No, he's up here.
Please open Perashat Vayigash. Our topic is we have a mitzvah of Kibbutz Avayim. About grandparents, let's see in the Chumash. Whatever you have in mind or in your heart, whatever is good, do it, continue doing, but let's see what the Chumash, Shulchan Aruch and the Gemara are saying about the topic. Yosef reveals himself. The brothers are coming to Yaakov, and Yaakov is ready to go down. So look at the first pasuk in the Perek Mevav. So Perek Mevav, by you it's page 256. 256. Look at the Chumash at page 256. Yaakov and his family are ready to depart, basically for 210 years. Vayisa Yisrael v'chol asher lo vayavo be'er hashava. First, before he goes down to Egypt, he goes to Beersheba, because this is the place where his father. What did he do there? Vayizbach zvachim, and he offers korbanot leHeloei Aviv Yitzchak, to Hashem, the God of Yitzchak. Why doesn't it say the Elokei Avotav, to Hashem, who is the God of his forefathers? Why is the pasuk emphasizing Yitzchak? Look at the Rashi, please. Rashi on the left side, if you have the hard scroll. Chayav Adam bekavod aviv yoter mi bekavod zekeno. You have to respect your grandfather, or to father much more. So when Yaakov is doing it, he emphasizes the Elohei Avi Yitzchak. If he would say Elokei Avotav, you don't see the special emphasis on his father. This is why the pasuk says the Elohei Avi Yitzchak. לפיכך, לפיכך תלה ביצחק ולא באברהם. So the Siftei Chachamim explains the pasuk could have said Elokei Avotav. No, the Elokei Aviv Yitzchak to emphasize my father. Yes. Yeah, what's your question? Please take the Gemara.
Didn't we have an experience already with Yitzchak and Beersheba?
Why is it going to Beersheba? Because it's the Mizbeach was there. But the question is, when the Korban is offered, why is the pasuk emphasizing the Elokei Aviv Yitzchak?
Okay.
Look a second. Whatever you have to say, you'll see after the Gemara, after the Shulchan Aruch. We just saw the Rashi. We saw the pasuk. We will leave it for him or give it to Joseph.
All comments to the end.
It says in here, don't touch. Maybe I can't use
Downstairs there are about 2,000 Gemarot. It says don't touch. And the owner gave it up a few years ago. They just stuck it in the book.
I just looked at it. I don't
Touch wow.
Abraham was already passed away.
Look a second in Masechet Makot. Daf Yod Bet Amud Aleph.
Wow, look at his notes, Rabbi.
You understand?
Look how good he writes.
Look
Look at that.
Oh.
It must be Danny. Danny writes a lot.
Look at that. Look at those notes. Wow.
In order to understand the Gemara, first we are going to look now at Masechet Makot. Daf Yud Bet Amud Aleph. You see the Mishnah on the bottom. Go 6 lines before. Go 6 lines before the Mishnah. Tani. You see Tani? 6 lines before the Mishnah. Please listen carefully. Put your finger there, right? Tani Chada. Now, as your finger is there, go to the opposite page in the Mishnah. You see that? Leave your finger there. Look to the opposite page. There is a Mishnah.
First word in the line, Rabbi, please.
And look on the wide lines of the Mishnah. See the wide lines? We all know whatever you have, all the information you have is correct. Today you might have either less or more. It's always an answer. It says, רוצח שיצא חוץ לתחום ומצאו גואל אדם. רוצח left the refuge city and the blood relative bumped into it or is waiting for him. רבי יוסי הגלילי אומר, מצווה ביד גואל אדם. Guys, leave all the comments till the end. After we'll see the Rambam and you'll see the contradiction in the Rambam and you'll see the answer in the Rambam. Then we'll go back to the Mishnah and then the Gemara. So Rabbi Yossi Aglili says it's a mitzvah. Ureshut beyad kol adam. If Goel Adam doesn't do it, this is the biggest chiddush.
Oh, anybody.
Reshut, Reshut.
Okay.
No mitzvah. You realize Reshut is always after mitzvah.
Anybody can do it. Even
This
the
is
Chayav
basic-
Mikah,
this is-
anybody can do it, Rabbi.
In the
Only
middle,
the
and
Beit Din
of course,
He couldn't.
after he was found guilty, and they didn't cannot kill him. It's mitzvah and everyone anyway.
Oh, yeah.
Rabbi Akiva Omer, no. And you see the Rambam says like Rabbi Akiva, Reshut miyad goel adam. You have the right to do it if you are upset, if you're the Chol Adam, and if other people do it, this is a plain murder. It's not your business. אתה רואה, זה רמב"ם, אתה רואה, רמב"ם.
Yeah, has he deal with the word mitzvah?
The Beit said mitzvah, and they said no.
Keep in mind, that this is by a murderer b'shogeg. Okay? Now, let's go to by a murderer b'mezid, and let's say,
Did you have enough witnesses or something?
No, accidental.
no, this is what we just saw is by accident.
Now Messi's not accident. But we couldn't kill him.
Tani Chada, go back now to the Gemara I showed you. Have you bet Amud Aleph? Listen to a bizarre case, but of course, this is real life, so take out your heart and just use your computer brain. Tani Chada, Av She'arab. Just for the sake of name, Avraham killed his son, Yitzchak. No, sorry. Av She'arab Kama, Beno Na'aseh lo Goel Adam. Can you imagine? The other son has the right to kill his father. I'm taking revenge for my brother's blood. Tani Chada.
Wait,
One-
the father killed, I'm sorry, Rabbi, the father.
I'm going to repeat. Yes. Tani Chada Av She'arab. I purposely chose the name. Avraham killed Yitzchak. Yitzchak is his son. Okay. So the other his son says, I'm taking revenge for my brother. I'm the blood relative.
Ishmael.
He has a right to kill his father.
Ishmael.
The same as the regular Goel Adam. The Tanya Idach, we have another Baraita, like a few lines before the Mishnah. Ein beno na'aseh lo goel adam. No. If the father killed his son, the other sibling, the other son, cannot touch the father. It's open contradiction.
Yeah.
It's an open contradiction. The first Baraita says that if the father kills his son, the other son can become the Goel Adam, take revenge for his brother and kill the father. You realize this is not in a normal situation, fine.
Two mitzvot contradict each other.
Today it
Against
is.
each other.
They have crazy people. The world is crazy.
Lema, perhaps. Ha Rabbi Yosef Agelili, ha Rabbi Akiva. If you take the position in the Mishnah of Rabbi Yosef Agelili as semi-notice mitzvah, I have to do it. Not that I'm looking to do it.
Oh.
If it's a mitzvah,
Obligated.
lema, which means perhaps. But if you take the opposite position, it's only you have the right to do it, of course.
If the son can't
So
do it.
this is the way we answer the contradiction. It's not really a contradiction, it's two opinions.
How is it mutar to put Rabbi Yisrael because you have on a bicha you still have a share lotaseh, don't you? Kamei bicha, bicha v'lotera. So you have two psukim, two mitzvot here, two psukim, and then you have one good pasuk that you need for the goel adam. So how does that mutar?
Can, not an obligation, but can.
If
The
this is,
Gemara is dismissed, the Gemara is.
Rabbi Prague, if this is a mitzvah, where is the proof text?
Let's just wait one more line. But Eli says, even if it's a mitzvah, so father, you have mitzvah of kavod. So before I read the next line, of course, I'll give you an answer which is not going to be the answer, but the father is a rasha, as we learned many times.
Oh, that's
This is a rasha, yes. This is not accident that he fell on him from a plane, yes.
Murder.
Where is the text?
Let's just continue. Let's read the next one.
Rabbi Prague, where is the proof?
We didn't see where it
What?
was.
I saw the Rambam before in Perek Aleph and in Perek Hey. So the minute you see what? Right. This is why I come early in the morning. I mean, look.
ADD over here.
No,
He's egging me on.
Eli's point is a good point.
Larry's usually the aggressive one in this crowd.
The Gemara says, the Tisbera, is this acceptable? If, even if it's a mitzvah for a blood relative to take revenge, Bein lemanda amar mitzvah, bein lemanda amar rishut. Even if it's a mitzvah, listen carefully now. Mishari, does he have the right to kill his father for revenge? Please listen carefully now. Ve'amar Rabba bar Ravuna, וכן תנא דבר רבי ישמעאל, two, Amora and Tana, lakol, אין הבן נעשה שליח לאביו, להכותו ולקללו. That's it, the profession of the son is, he executes the punishments that the court decides. This guy ate a cheeseburger, he needs 39 lessons. If there was a warning of witnesses, if you are the one and your father is the one that ate, don't touch your father. Lakol, any type of physical punishment, it has to be given to your father, you don't do it. Even though his father is going to get it no matter what.
And even if it's his job, so to speak. His son's
You're
job.
talking about his job. I don't know. Otherwise, obviously.
Yeah, you're the executioner.
Realize, so
All
your
this
question
comes
is
up to
swallowed.
he's an
This question.
Well, but the fact he's getting whipped or it means he's
No,
a
but
rasha.
No, but
So
you
you're
realize,
saying, yeah,
it's more than that. It's more. Here, the father is going to get it anyway.
yeah, okay.
The
But
father
still,
is going to get it anyway.
Somebody's
I
gonna
know
do
the
it.
job very well, and I know how to do it. Don't do it.
Sure.
It's your father. So now let's go back to Eli's point.
But we had this class where you said if he was a doctor and you should not operate on your father. I mean, I remember something to that even. Let somebody else operate on.
what's the answer?
Is that sort of tying in here?
That's American, not just yours.
No. This has nothing to do. What we learned was, I gave many times blood in Maimonides and Fadush. I can tell in a second the guy's a professional or not. The way you put the needle in,
Of course.
a professional, you don't feel anything. The others,
Yeah.
this is why a doctor should not do. Because if you
'cause
do
you
it
might
to your
have
father,
pain
you are
on his
nervous
father.
always. If you cause him
Extra
additional
pain.
pain.
Oh.
Eddie Gindi, I remember, told me a few times, says his father wants him to give him certain. He says, Daddy, the nurse is more experienced than I am.
Yeah.
I trust you. Which means he knows for sure that the nurse will do it perfectly because she did it a million times before.
Yeah.
And he is that. Only you. Okay.
The father knows.
So
Is that permissible to do it?
if he insisted, try to convince him as much as you can. It's much better for
I remember
you.
Joe.
Not you. If he insists, there's nothing you can do. I mean, remember, psychologically, in your hands, psychologically, there's more. So the Gemara says, no way that the son can do it, even if it's a mitzvah. Okay? So what's it? So now we have a contradiction. Listen good to the answer now. Oh, wait, let's finish the Baraita. Lakol, to any type of physical punishment, the son cannot be the executioner. Chutz mimeisit. Meisit, a man who entices other people to do avodah zarah, שהרי אמרה התורה לא תחמול ולא תכסה עליו. If it happens to be that his father is this type of a person who convinces or preaches, okay, fine.
But it has to be a certain type of Rasha, Rabbi, like you say.
Meisit only meisit. Only meisit.
Rabbi, here it says shaliach, but in the case of
Shaliach means listen carefully. Hear what he says. This is what he says. He says he wants to know what's the word shaliach. If a man committed any crime, ate a cheeseburger, it's not that the court has to do it. It's me and you also have to do it. But this is not the Wild West. So the Beit Din decide and Beit Din are in charge. But when you are doing it, you are doing, so to say, like a Brit Milah of every Moel is obligated to do to circumcise. This is why the word Shaliach is, okay? The answer is La Kashi. Habe Bno, Habe Ben Beno. Please listen carefully to the answer. The answer is a brother can never take revenge by killing his father because he killed the brother. Never. The grandson
could take revenge.
What happened if Abraham killed Yitzchak? Yaakov is a grandson. The grandson can do it, not the son.
Grandson of the son of the deceased, though, or could
Of
it be
the
a nephew?
killed, the one that was killed.
Yeah.
Only
Not the nephew.
The Gemara is open, very
Son
clear.
of the son.
The son of the son. The
Grandson
father
killed
killed
the
the
son.
son.
What's his name?
The son's son, the murdered son's son, can kill the father. This is the answer. What's the difference between your father and grandfather? Look at the Rashi. Fascinating Rashi, an unknown Rashi, La Kashia, Rashi on the bottom. La Kashia, Ha Bebno, it is. Ha Detanya, Ein Benona, Sago Eladam. When can the son do it? Bebno, Shel Rotzeach Kama, yeah? Your brother was killed, yes? You want to kill your father for revenge of your brother? No. ועד תניא בנו נעשה לגואל אדם, בבנו של הרוג, the son of the murder, which is a grandson, yes? Abraham kills Yitzchak. Yitzchak has a son, Yaakov. בבנו של הרוג כאמר, שהוא בן בנו של רוצח. He's a grandson. Listen to an amazing Rashi. ואינו מוזהר על כבודו. Because he's not obligated to respect your grandfather. Me and you began today by Chumash. This is the same man who wrote the commentary, Rashi. There is an open contradiction in Rashi. Rashi in Chumash, in the beginning of Perek Memvav, look here again, Yaakov is offering korbanot leElohei Aviv Yitzchak. Why is the pasuk emphasizing Elohei Aviv Yitzchak? Not Elohei Avotav. Look at the Rashi. Chayav Adam bekavod aviv yoter. Yoter means, of course, I have to honor my grandfather. There is more. But this is an open contradiction. We have to. So, Behemet, of course, Rabbi Akiva Eger is asking. Everyone is asking.
Where do we learn that you're chayav on your grandfather?
We don't have a pasuk for
Sevara
that.
or
You see, in a minute we'll talk about it. Remember, it's an open contradiction. So look a second here. Remember, we're not talking about your heart tells you. If, see, here's the question. If, I mean, I'll give it just an example. When my mother-in-law, tomorrow is a Yosef, she was a widow for a couple of years. She ate bayas every Shabbat, okay? My wife is sitting to the left, my mother-in-law is to the right. Okay? I make a motzi. Who do I give first? My wife? Or my
Your mother.
so we're not talking about Hilchot Pikuach Nefesh now, Hilchot. family feuds. I'm talking about,
We're talking to the wife
We're
first.
talking to the wife, she's like you, keep it like small, something.
but
Your mother.
I told my wife, tell you give it to your mother.
Oh, good.
Wow.
אשתי חייבת בכבוד של אמא שלה.
Wow.
And I told my mother-in-law in advance, I would like to give you first, but this is my wife. And then I told my wife, ככה היה כל שבת, הייתי נותן לה, והייתה נותנת לאמא שלה.
Beautiful, Rabbi.
Now, the point
That's why
is,
you are the rabbi.
no, but the point
So the reason-
is, there's psychology that also this way,
No, no,
it's a
it's
win-win on every, but
It's a
the
win-win.
code covers.
You made your wife happy too.
Why can't you assume that your wife is giving that kavod away and
No, she could have,
automatically you
no,
If she doesn't,
no, but this,
the rabbi-
Joseph Israel.
I give it
My, no, Joseph, my wife could have said what you're saying. I'm mochel on my kavod, give it. But the idea is to show doubly, yes? I mean, I wanted my wife, I give it to my, I know it sounds funny. Rav Shach used to visit his Rebbe, the Rav of Britzky here. He didn't honor everyone the same, but he comes here, he says to his daughter, please bring him a chair. Then he says, please, bring him a glass of tea, bring him a cup of tea. First he says, bring hot water, then bring the sense. You remember before the tea,
Yeah.
then bring him the sugar. So Rav Shach asked the Rav of Britzky, Rabbi, Mechila,
Three mitzvot.
name it for.
Sure, each
I
one.
mean,
is separate.
every time I say it, I'm embarrassed. This is how we look to
Why
it.
free before?
each time.
Every time you give your father
Bring the
anything, it's
glass,
accurate
bring the
matzah.
water, bring the
So when
tea,
she brought the
action.
hot water, it's matzah. She brought the sense, tea essence, mitzvah. Says I can give my daughter 3 mitzvot. Why should I tell her one mitzvah?
Meanwhile, your father is waiting for
This
every
is
step.
how. This is how.
I'm trying to understand.
What this
Your father is waiting for every steps for you to bring the hot water,
They were-
then the
they
sugar.
were talking-
I want to have it
They
now.
were talking in learning.
I had a turn,
They were talking in the Torah day and night, 24/7, many times. And when he comes in, obviously, as the rabbi is Mekayem Mitzvat Kibud Orchim, right? When the tea is hot, you cannot drink it either, right? This is not soda or cold water. This is hot tea, remember.
Takes a minute.
Steaming tea, 180 degrees.
Hey, Rabbi,
It's not- no, so I'm saying- What?
Everybody goes
She's
to
better than
Kibbutz
Israel. She's
on
not
your
doing
side.
in Israel.
But in America?
In America they do.
In Israel, does she go?
By Hasidim, not by others. Yeah. Anyway, Shulchan Aruch says, Sammy, listen carefully. Shulchan Aruch says, it's interesting where it chose to write it. Shulchan Aruch says, Chayav Adam lechabed chamim. You have to show respect to your father-in-law. Says the Rama, ויש אומרים, ואין אדם חייב בכבוד אבי אביו. Some say you're not obligated to respect your grandfather. Where is it? This is the Rashi.
But the Quran also says somewhere else, Aviv to Aviv, right? Doesn't it say something like that in the Quran?
It says, בני בנים הרי הם כבנים. Anyway, says the Rama, the Ma'ariv, ואינו נראה לי, אלא חייב בכבוד אביו יותר מכבוד אבי אביו. The Rama says,
Yoter.
וראיה מיצחק, ויזבח זבחים. The Rama brings a ראיה from the Pasuk in Chumash, the way Rashi interprets it, that so, but it's a problem, yeah, but any way you look at it, it's a contradiction. So they say something very interesting. Listen what they say. See, this goes back to Sammy's question. Well, why yes, why not? We're not talking about what we feel. Showing respect, right, to my mother-in-law is showing respect to my wife. You realize? Showing respect to your older brother is showing respect to your father. You realize? Shulchan Aruch says, Chayav Adam bekavod achiv hagadol. We are obligated to show it. What is that? Believe it or not, Ramban Nachmanides says, if his father died, he doesn't have to show the same respect. Why? Why? This is the Lomdes. While the father is alive, when I show respect to the elder brother, say respect to my father. My father is not there anymore.
This elder brother is the
Hey,
oldest.
Rabbi, there's respect that. Rabbi, there's respect after the fathers. You still give kavod to your parents when they're not alive.
הראשון במשפחה. In every family, the same logic is here. You realize? Listen carefully now.
חווה את אביך ואת, לפי האח, האח הגדול.
Right, that's right. The pasuk et is the source for Achicha Gadol, but here Ramban learns ve'et. It's connected to your father. If your father is not there,
But Rabbi, we still honor our parents when they're not alive. Still do that.
now
It's probably a bigger kivud when they're not alive.
you have to do it anyway. I'm talking about as far as the chiyuv.
Didn't we learn that with Esau? Yikravu Yemei Evel Aviv, so he wait for his father to die, and then he's going to kill.
He wants to kill. Remember?
Yeah, but that's not trying
So some say, listen carefully. Some say very nice. Some say, of course, Rashi in the Gemara also believes that you have to show respect to your father, right? But my father was killed, so there's no chiyuv to your grandfather when your father is not alive. Yeah? The same logic. The same logic, which means that the respect to your grandfather is because of your father, yes? So while the family is together, of course you have to show respect to your father. Right? Look at the same page in the Shulchan Aruch. Chayav Adam, you are obligated to show respect to your stepmother.
Same thing with the stepmother.
The same exactly.
When the father's
Yes,
not
Sammy.
alive,
Cause
Rabbi, today we show the most respect to the grandfather. I wish I had a grandfather.
I'm saying, we are doing what your heart tells you, continue doing. You know why the nafkamina is? You know,
Yeah,
it's
but
always
between
cute
the
to have
father and
around
the
the table,
grandfather.
the coffee and the cake on the table also. The halacha is that if your father asks you to
okay,
buy,
you have a malchokah
the
between your
father-
father and
the
the grandfather.
either them.
You have
Good,
a
this is a
choice.
good example.
You have
But
the grandfather
The
comes first.
halacha is if your father wants a corned beef sandwich, you can tell him, Father, of course I'm buying it, $18, you pay. If the father doesn't have money, the court is forcing the son, says the Bach, if the father doesn't have, he forces not the grandson. If says the Bach, here I'm reading. See, this argument is not should you get up or should you buy all this nonsense. We have to be not the Father's Day cards. We would take $1,000 from your account every month if this halakha applies. Grandson. $1,000 we would force you if you don't work. You don't have good relationship with your grandfather.
This is the halacha.
I'm saying if you're chayav, it's a machloket. Which means that even Rashi agrees that there is, of course you have to show respect. But when he killed your father, the father is not around. So look at the Rashi, I'll give you Rashi. Look at the Rashi, the Rashi we saw, Ve'ino muzar al kevodo now, not Eino muzar al kevodo. In this situation, my father was killed by his father, by my grandfather. In this case, I'm not muzar al kevodo. But in other circumstances, look at the Bach. The Bach says here, right here.
So is there any other shita besides going through
No,
the
it's a
father?
machlok, it's a machlok.
So is there, if there's respect without the
So
father,
I'm reading
what's the source of that?
because the same as the example we gave before of Av Bechor. Showing respect to your grandfather is respect to your father.
No, but if your father's not around, you're saying you
No,
don't have.
so I'm saying you can hear that by a father, even if the grandfather. This is the name of the family. This is my grandfather. You look at him.
So it's still a drasha. We don't have a real source. We don't have a.
No one is. Otherwise, you cannot have a machlok. The Rasha is based on a pasuk in this week's parasha. Lama katuva is bachlel. Okay. Shema katav abach ולפי זה, אם אין לו לאב בן ולבן, יש לבן, אם לאב אין, יצחק doesn't have money, but Yaakov is, we force the grandson to support it. I mean, this is the bottom line. It's very easy to discuss it, yes, no, with the halachic connotation.
So the Bach is only on it?
It's the way.
Only if the father's alive.
No, of course.
Only if the father's
Okay,
alive.
according to this interpretation. ולי נראה, דאף דזה נכון, of course, אבל לפי הדין, אינו יכול לקופו. אינו יכול לקופו. To force him, he says not, even though the Bach believed that you could force him. Now the Gemara of Bifna opened the Rambam. Look at the Rambam. Look at the Rambam. You have enough Rambam here. Look at the Rambam in Chot Rotzeach. Sefer Nezikin.
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it makes you or
Now we are going to discuss it in the Rambam. Now we are going to discuss it in the Rambam. Nezikin in Chot Rotzeach Perek Aleph.
So far, he can't do it either b'shogeg or b'mezi. He can't kill.
Right. Right. The Gemara that we learn, the son can never do.
But we have a machloket.
Let's read the Rambam. We're opening the Rambam. It doesn't make to say.
Okay. Okay.
No. All the comments he made was I was saying,
No,
but when you're ready to open the Rambam,
is there a machloket on the opposite Rasha? Do we have to? Is that Rama, the Maran? And
so there
somebody
was a
else?
fellow, he was a fellow in Europe, Perek Aleph in Chot Rotzeach. It's Sefer Nezikin. If you have Sefer Nezikin, the second topic is Chot Rotzeach. It's interesting, the Rambam writes it in Sefer Nezikin. You have it, Eli? Halacha Beit. Give it to David here.
It's blowing cold air, so you might as well shut it.
Okay.
No, but when you hear the noise, psychologically you feel warm.
I feel cold air.
The minute you open the air conditioner, you feel already cold. Look at Halacha Beit.
Okay, whatever you say.
Perek Aleph. See, Raila, here is a perfect example. How you have to be so careful when you read Rambam.
He writes
Here the
mitzvah.
Rambam says, מצווה ביד גואל אדם, להרוג את הרוצח. Remember, Sammy, we saw מחלוקת? Rambam says מצווה. באמת, the Rambam contradicts himself. Why? Here, leave this open, go to Perek Hey. Okay? Go to Perek Hey. Perek Hey Halacha Tet. Sammy, by you it's page 125. Sammy, by you, leave this open, go to 125 Halacha Tet. Okay? The Rambam says like this. Second. Says בפירוש רשות. ואז זה צריך חובה. let's see במשנה. הרמב"ם says רשות זין. פרק ה' הלכה י'. look הלכה י'. אחד הרגו בדרך. if the גואל אדם killed him on the way to the עיר מקלט. קודם שייכנס. או שהרגו בחזירתו. after he was found guilty. נכנס לעיר מקלט נכנס לעיר מקלטו ויצא רשות לגואל אדם לא עובר. עיר הלכה רמב"ם says מצווה פה כותב רשות. Here is talking about רוצח ושוגג. הלכה א', let me prove it, see I'm careful, it's open contradiction.
Here, right? He's left the Rick
Here, right?
Because he went in and he's
Mitzvah,
already in
look, you have to see that. You have to read, go back to Perek Aleph, yes? Read carefully the Rambam. כל הורג נפש בן אדם, to kill anyone, עובר בלא תעשה, לא תרצח. ואם רצח בזדון לפני עדים, מיתתו בסייף, וביהלם, אוקיי? ב', remember, ב' follows א', מצווה ביד גואל אדם להרוג את הרוצח only if it's מזיד. שנאמר, גואל אדם הוא ימית את הרוצח. Who is the גואל אדם that has the מצווה? כל הראוי לירושה, the one that legally inherits, הוא גואל אדם. לא רצה גואל אדם, או שלא היה יכול להמיתו, או שאין לו גואל אדם, בדין ממיתים את הרוצח בסייף. You see clearly.
Oh, so he's only talking the mitzvahs in Bemezi.
This is what I say. This is why it's not a contradiction.
No, you can't go to your Miklat if you're busy.
You're right. So
So
it
this
doesn't
is why.
mention your
So
mitzvah.
this is why he's telling you a new halacha that you never heard till today. This din goel adav is not only b'shogeg. B'shogeg, you have the right to do it. If it's b'mezid, Beidin would invite the blood relative to do it. If he says I can't do it, then we would appoint other people. Now let's alakha gimal chabal. I have to run. Alakha gimal. Ahav sheharag et beno. Again, Abraham kills his son Yitzchak. Im Yitzchak they killed as a son Yaakov. Harei ze horeg et avi aviv. Leishehu goel. But you see, according to the Rambam again, it's only if it's karov lemezid. V'im ein lo ben, but if he doesn't have ben, another sibling cannot do it.
Cannot do it.
Here,
This is his father.
here, so the Rambam's conclusion is the same of the Gemara, but he's talking when it's done b'mezid. You realize?
Yeah.
He learns the Gemara differently. When we read the Gemara, there's no hint in the Gemara that this is b'mezid. The Rambam copies this only here. It doesn't say it in chapter 8. Tomorrow I have to run. Tomorrow we might come back.
Yeah.
And tomorrow you see that Rabbeinu Hananel learned the Gemara.
So with Akedat Yitzchak, if Yaakov had been born